Yeah, go ahead, Gabby. One sec here. For those who unfortunately have to watch online. Everybody's quiet. All right. Today is a day we get to celebrate, even during this pandemic. So today, Max Brokaw, we're going to celebrate your retirement. A few things: Kim, Callie, Cole, Allie, Judy, and Kay, who's online. Thank you for joining us. And everybody else that's here. As you can see, unfortunately, we were just talking about this. Who would have thought we would have been retiring and everybody would wear masks and we'd have to limit who was here. But we're going to make it do, because this is a special time. A few things about Max's career. For those of us that started, we were just, again, talking about, there's a few of us in this room, not very many of us. When we get toward the end of our career, we realize how many people have retired in our groups. But with Max, as we were talking about it, Max started in the jail, and then he worked his way out into district court, and then he went to DRT while he was in detention. Then he went out to patrol. Then he went into detectives, to DEA task force, and we'll come back to that. Then he promoted, went to sergeant, was in court transportation. Then he went back out to patrol. And then about that time we had formed ATAC, which was our undercover team. He was a sergeant over it. And then he went into and promoted to lieutenant, went back to detention, was a DRT lieutenant. Then he took over INRIC, and then we promoted him, and he was the captain over SOD. And I'll come back to that in just a minute. So basically, Max has worked everywhere in this office. And for those of us and the new deputies out there that are watching, I would tell you, this is somebody you would want to look at their career when you want to be well-rounded, of how to move around and learn all about the sheriff's office and take advantage of every opportunity that's out there. A couple things about Max that I know personally is his dedication to this profession, his commitment to serving this community and making sure he made a difference, and more importantly, looking after his people. And again, we'll come back to that in just a second. Throughout his career, I think like most of us, Max didn't set out to do it for the recognition. But yet, because of that dedication that I had already mentioned, that we all know he has, that commitment to doing the right things all the time, he ended up with 17 awards or commendations. A life-saving award for helping an inmate choke. But more importantly, when I was talking to Max, I'm like, we all have those moments in our careers that we're like, I'll always remember this. And the one for Max was when he was in DEA at the task force. And back then, it was in 2005?
Around
right?
7.
Or 7. We had worked a lot of heroin. And you've heard all about the opioid epidemic that we've been facing. And when he went into DEA task force, that was the one thing him and his partners and his task force members wanted to work on. And so he committed himself, like we've seen throughout his career, of identifying and working on a very large heroin group. And so at the end of that culmination of that investigation, all 3 SWAT teams were involved, but we hit 5 places within this community, and he had a tremendous impact on the heroin ring, and it was one of the largest cases of heroin that had been worked in this area in a very long time. And because of that hard work and dedication, that year when the awards came out on the federal task force side, he got the OSADEF award, which is, there are several OSADEF task forces throughout the nation, but OSADEF for the north or the western region, he won the award because of that hard work, because that was the best case for the whole state, for the whole nation. And again, that goes back to that hard work and commitment that Max has always put into his career, that he put into that case to make sure that when we hit those places, we had an impact of getting those drugs off the street and getting those who were putting those drugs out on the street off. The other things we were talking about, and I got to commend, and you see this, we always have you guys fill out when we get ready to retire some things about your career. And most people I don't want to talk about myself, and Max is the same way, but what Max did do is what he's always done, is he left. We asked for advice. And I asked him, what would you tell the new recruits? I ask everybody that. We have new recruits starting. Max, 26 years, has seen a lot. right? We always have heard change this year, but throughout our career we hear about change. And what would you pass on to these new deputies that are starting now, that are facing different challenges, facing wearing masks, facing a pandemic none of us have faced? And Max just didn't leave a little advice for the deputies. He left advice for every single rank that he had been in. And again, I think that's a reflection of the work ethic that Max has. And the one thing I think you will always hear in the academy, and Max hit on it, for deputies, and I want to pass it on to everybody, because this goes for every one of us, and that is your integrity. That is the one thing you can always keep, and that's the one thing that you and you alone can give away. And when talking with Max, again, as we were talking about our careers and laughing over some of our previous recruits and where they may or may not be now, that was the one thing he hit on, was your integrity. That's the only thing that we can give away. And that's one advice he gave for deputies. For sergeants, I thought he had a great thing. It's your job to make sure they're doing the right thing. Right? You're the first line supervision. You're the ones mentoring all those deputies that are doing the work. And so as a sergeant, that was your duty. Make sure they're doing the right thing. For a lieutenant, making sure, and again, when you read these, you fully understand that Max knew what every rank did. So for lieutenants, it was making sure your teams, your units, had the tools they needed for the job. And then for captains, for more of the administrative, as we say in this profession, usually when you get to captain, you're more administrative, you're behind a desk. But Max also realized as a captain, one of your major things is knowing that budget, knowing how to work the budget, so that again, your lieutenants have the ability to get your people at the line and the sergeants the tools they need. But also knowing the hard thing is knowing when to say no. Because as a captain, you control those budgets and everybody's coming to you with, hey, I need this, especially with Max being over SOD and all the special assignments. SWAT, hostage, all that. They all have equipment that we have no funding for. And sometimes you have to learn how to allocate that money, but you also have to learn how to sometimes say no when you know it's not the best thing, but it's the right thing to do, because we just don't have it. And then the one thing he left with is for all supervisors to do. And that is that, let me get it right, that you are responsible for everybody below you. And that the decisions you make are the decisions that have a ripple effect amongst the community, but also can get everybody below you and yourself in trouble. So always take that into consideration. It's a heavy burden. We always talk about that when we're promoting somebody, right? Is that you're making those decisions for everybody below you. One thing when Max was talking about, besides what he would miss, the people, all of you, he quickly realized Kim. He wanted to support you and say thank you for supporting him in his career. And I think, again, all of us can learn from what Max also said, and that was thank you for when he put his job first and understanding that, because we all do that. For Callie and Cole, thank you for understanding when he missed sporting events or birthdays, and knowing that, now Cole, you're getting that feeling of missing those, but thank you for that understanding and still being there and understanding that the job, unfortunately, either called him out, especially being in DEA and those type of assignments, SWAT, and missing some of those special moments with you. And thank you for that. And then all of you, again, we had 2 retirements today, and I will tell you, Max hit on it just like they did. He would not be here without all of you and his family. And Judy and Kay, thank you too. Every one of you had an impact on where he was, how he is today, and he wanted to make sure to thank all of you for that. What Max did say is, for his retirement, besides, like many of us are jealous to play golf, is anybody that has any home projects, Max is ready for you. So I already started making a list, but he's going to enjoy retirement. All of us that have our hobbies, we know Max is kind of like his partner in crime behind you there, so I'm sure we'll see both of you on the course. So we look forward to that. But he wanted to thank all of you, and then something special for you. I'll see if I can get through this, because I'm even getting choked up. But this is from Callie.
Oh.
So,
Who arranged this?
I'm not going to tell you, but I like it, because this is special. So this is from Callie. Dad, I am so proud of you. After 26 years, your retirement is very well deserved. Your ambition and mental fortitude are unparalleled. You inspire me to be the very best version of myself and to work hard in everything I do. I cannot thank you enough for being my role model and hero. I hope this next chapter of your life is full of adventure. I love you always. Now I have one from Cole. I know, it's good.
It's not supposed to be this way.
It is. You deserve this. Cole, Dad, congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. You've taught me everything I know, and I couldn't be more proud to call you my dad. If I am lucky enough to have half the career you had, I would consider it a success. But because I'm a Brokaw, you've taught me always to strive for more. I have no doubt the next chapter of your life will be the best. Congratulations. And then finally one from Kim. It feels like yesterday when you started at the sheriff's office. You've had an amazing career, and we are very proud of all your accomplishments. You have been a role model to our kids and have instilled in them the value of hard work and integrity. One of the best things that came from your job are the wonderful friends that are like family to us. I definitely won't miss the phone ringing at 1 a.m. or the call-outs in the middle of the night, but I'm guessing you might just a little. Now it's your time to relax a little, golf whenever you want, take a Jeep ride, or do nothing. And when you start to get bored, I have a long list of projects to keep you busy. Congratulations, and I love you. So, with that, we'll get this out of the way. Come on over here. All right, State of Nevada, County of Washoe, the Board of County Commissioners. Washoe County presents this certificate of appreciation to Max Brokaw. After completing 26 years of service with the Washoe County from January 9, 1995 to January 2nd, 2021, resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Washoe County, Nevada, that the best wishes of the Board of County Commissioners are extended to you for a happy and fruitful retirement. Washoe County Sheriff's Office, Certificate of Distinguished Service presented to Captain Max Brokaw. In appreciation of your distinguished service to the citizens of Washoe County and to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office from the 9th of January, 1995 to the 2nd of January, 2021. We gratefully present the certificate on the 2nd of January, 2021. Congratulations. I know. They can tell by your eyes. That's what they say. That's what Gabby says. Smile. We call it a smile. Okay. All right. With sincere thanks, we commend Captain Max Brokaw. Dates of service, January 9th, 1995 to January 2nd, 2021. In honor of your retirement of 26 years of dedicated service to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office and the citizens of Washoe County, wishing you the best of luck from your friends, supervisor, and coworkers. And now, COVID, as always, has struck again. So your badge isn't here, so we want to at least have a photo with your badge, or with that badge. Okay. Yours will be coming, but this is one with it, so we have a badge in it.
And you can actually present that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to do right now?
This works out actually good because, like you said, they're always a little bit behind. But fortunately, Greg Nauman, you're here, so why don't you come on up? And I'll present you with your badge.
Yeah.
And actually, you get a picture of the sheriff too.
I definitely smiled.
That's the most sheriff.
Here, all right. Because we didn't have one when you were here.
No, we didn't even think it.
And Kim, come on up here. So on behalf of executive staff, thank you for sharing Max for the last 26 years with us. And so we want to thank you for everything and being supportive of him and all the call-outs, like he said, and you noted he missed. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Come on over here, you guys. And then the floor will be yours, Max, if you'd like.
Is that it?
That's it. You want the mic?
No, I don't need a mic. Everyone can hear me. I really didn't. I really didn't expect all of this, to be honest, and especially the stuff for my kids and the wife. That was special. But a couple of things I want to clarify. The sheriff was very politically correct about a couple of my statements, but I'm not going to be. It's very simple for the supervisor's message, as you'll realize real quick. When you're a deputy, the only person that could get you fired was you. When you become a supervisor, everybody below you could get you fired. So remember that when you're making your decisions. And that's the way I've always kind of treated my career. And not that you're going to get fired for any little thing, but it's always good to kind of, for me it worked keeping that in my mind, to make good decisions. But the biggest one is the integrity part of it. Like the sheriff said, we discussed that. And your integrity is really the only thing that you absolutely have control over, and nobody could ever take it away from you. But you can give it away. And I like to think that I came to work every day and I did this job with the utmost integrity, and it's the way I try to live my life. And I think if you keep that in mind, then your career will be it'll go by quickly and you'll have very little problems with it. The other thing is I want to point out that he talked about the OCDF case that I was very proud of, that I worked in DEA. I want to point out that two of my partners in that case are here, and that's Don and Natasha Krogstad, who worked at DEA with me. They're now retired, but they taught me a tremendous amount of knowledge. They gave me a lot of knowledge when it came to investigating drug cases and just becoming a better detective all around. And it's definitely something I've carried with me throughout my career as a supervisor and going into my role as supervising some of the detective units. And finally, the last thing I want to say is I don't think I'm going to miss the job, because this job it's tough and it wears on you, and I don't think any of us really realize how much it affects us in our lives until we're gone from it. I've loved every minute of the 26 years that I've done, and I'm proud of it, but I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss the job. I'm not going to miss the late phone calls, but I will miss the people. I'm going to miss all of you. That's going to be the tough part. But I'll be around. I'll see you guys on the golf course and wherever else. And you know, it's not like it's completely over, but the camaraderie that we share with this agency is special, and I don't really think there's anything that can replace it. So that is the one thing that I will miss. And thank you to everybody that came, and everyone that's watching, and anyone that had any influence in my career and helped me along the way. I appreciate it, and looking forward to only having one boss. I only have to hear it from this side. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Photos?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, thanks, Capt.